Greetings everybody, this is Ilona from Ilona TV, and I'm so excited to greet you today in my studio. And this is where we like to share your dreams and share your visions and have your message to reach everybody at home. And today with us, I have a very special friend. Her name is Debra, and she's a community activist. She's also HR enthusiast, and she has a great story for us to share today. Hi Debra, how are you?
Hey Ilona, thank you. I'm good.
So you have just recently lost your husband. Like, it was very unexpected death.
Yeah.
So how do you go with your grief right now?
You know, it's been really interesting, and you know, I've been doing a lot of praying, a lot of reading about grief, and I think that a lot of people, when they talk about grief, they talk about it on a spectrum, on a straight line. And they talk about that you move from one stage to the next stage to the next stage, and as you go through all these stages. And I would just find myself, and it's only been a couple of months, but I would find myself just really frustrated thinking, well, how can I have gone through this stage and now I'm on this one, but yet I feel like I'm still going back to this one. And so I've been, again, doing lots of soul searching, lots of reading, lots of praying, but Dr. Carolyn Leaf talks about the fact that it's really not that straight spectrum, that it's really these chains. And it's like it's, you're going through all 5 of the phases of grief, and you get to the end, and now you create another link, and you kind of go through it again. So it's not like I have to be done. I have to be done and out of that stage. It really is that the links are going to get longer, and they're going to get longer in my grief journey. And so then I will just continue to grow with them. Does that make sense?
Yes, I know that's very important, you know, for people to understand that, because yes, sometimes when you put them in a boxes and you kind of, you want to see yourself going back, and I'm not there yet. What is going on? Is my grief any different than others? So how the way that you explained, like, you know, going to help people to understand that it's okay.
Yeah, and I felt like it gave me freedom to continue to have those super teary, weepy moments. You know, I mean, I think that was the most frustrating thing for me. And I talked with a friend about it, and you know, my frustration with the tears that come just from nowhere. I can be having a normal conversation with somebody, and then all of a sudden I'm filled with this tremendous weeping episode. And this friend and I talked, and she said, well, it's also something that you're not in control of. And I'm a pretty disciplined person, and so that I can't control this sobbing or this weeping that comes over me. And I just think God's really been working in me to know that He's got it, that He's got this thing, and I don't have to rely on myself, or I don't have to rely on where I'm at on that grief spectrum, that I can be at all sorts of different points in that grief spectrum, regardless of what's going on.
And I know that lots of people, they think that crying is a sign of weakness. And I usually encourage people when I coach them, I'm like, you have to learn how to cry. Crying is actually detoxing your body from something negative and helping you to kind of, you know, eliminate all of these negative toxins and let you maybe think differently. So it's deliberating in one way or another. So it makes you be free to express it. It makes you be free to who you are.
Yeah, and I was actually, I read a lot. You know that already, but it's going to become very evident. I was also reading a book by Nancy Dufresne on grief, and she talked about those episodes of sobbing or weeping as being when God is really present with you, and that does touch my heart as well. That it's just that spirit cleansing piece that just comes over me.
Yes, and it's not a sign of weakness anymore. It's just sign of who you are. That's part of your emotions that God had also created for us to use and utilize, and such. So this is important. So, what helps you on a daily basis to, to get up from the bed, or what motivates you?
I think, listen, we choose every day how we're going to be. Is my glass going to be half full, or is it going to be half empty? And my day is going to be half full every day. And
Amen.
So that's part of what gets me out of bed. I know that the joy of the Lord is my strength. That gets me out of bed, and that's how I'm going to move forward. One of the other things I want to tell you, Ilona, is I have seen God's hand all over this. And I would tell you that I always wondered, before my husband passed away, why most of my friends were single, and that I was just always having and you're a great example of that, but I was just always having all of these single friends. And I got to tell you, those are the people that have showed up for me in the past 2 months. And there have been also other friends as well, but it was like the light bulb went off for me that God knew. I would also tell you that, again, before my husband passed away, I kept finding more and more things that I wanted to get involved with, but I felt like I couldn't keep committing to things that would keep me away from the house, and I couldn't be gone every single night. And so as he passed, and as I'm sitting there, and I know that family members were worried that I was going to be lonely and depressed and things like that. And it's like, no, I've got all these other things that I'm involved in, things that I'm called to do, right? Different Bible studies that I do, these prayer groups that I do, some family commitments, some volunteer commitments. I am not alone in this.
Amen.
I am not alone.
Yeah, I can tell that you're very passionate, and sometimes people think that just because they are single, they're alone. There is the way that people wake up with the zest and the hunger for life, and you can achieve so many things. It's just like having honeymoon with yourself all over, and you're falling in love with yourself, with your passion. You're finding out what is new, who are you in those moments. And like I always tell my kids, even though you are by yourself, you're never alone, because
Absolutely.
loneliness, it's just illusion sometimes people create, but there's another layer of things that we don't see that makes us feel fulfilled and happy in the same moment.
Yeah, I think that isolation is not good for anybody. We are designed as humans to be in relationships and to be in community with each other. And I think that, if we haven't learned anything over the past couple of years with all the COVID stuff, that isolation is not healthy. And you get yourself into that spot where you're alone and you're shut away from the world, and your mind just goes places that it shouldn't. Right? And that's why we need that community, and that's why we need to be around other people. And so again, as we kind of now start stepping out of the COVID-like world and start getting people connected back with each other, I think we're going to see relationships get healthier, people get healthier, and be able to step into those things that they're called to be in. Yeah,
those moments actually created something special in lots of people. And when you are under compression, under the pressure, there is something amazing comes out of you, just like a gold. It goes under the pressure, it goes under the this special pressure under you. But and yes, like you said, people came out stronger after that thing. So even if it bent us, the COVID bent us, it didn't break us.
Right.
It kind of let us okay, this is now what you're good at. So I'm so thankful for this moment that we can learn to thrive and not to be broken. So
right, absolutely. And listen, we can't change the past, but we can change the future.
Absolutely.
right? I think you and I are just all about that, about how we change the future. And that's, I think, also what gets us out of bed in the morning,
Yes.
right? Is that ability to reach other people and, you know, as my pastor says, change lives and make a difference, right?
Absolutely. And you know, our past is our greatest teacher. We learn from it. Some people repeat their past and then they ended up to, you know, be in the same circle back and back. But I like to learn from the past. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you're learning from it and not repeating them consciously on a daily basis and then blame everybody else around you. Right? And Deb, I want you to take this moment and speak to the camera and find the one soul, speak to her right now. Somebody who has just lost their loved ones. How would you want them to encourage them, and anything that helped you that you want to share with them will help them?
Yeah, you know, so I would just remind you that even though you've lost that very significant person in your life, you're not alone. That there's a community out there that really wants to support you, and ask for help. Say what it is that you need, and trust that God will just provide that person for you, that resource for you, or that answer for you. He's got this. You're not alone, and you don't have to feel like you're forging this way for the first time in history. There are people that God has put into your life for exactly this time.
Thank you so much, Debra, for being with us. I want to ask you one more question. You know, there's the things that we see, the things that we don't see. And the most real things are the things that we do not see. I want you to take a time right now and maybe look at the camera if you want to. And I want you to speak to your husband. What would you like to tell him right now?
Cry.
What would you like to tell him right now?
Gosh, I would tell him that I am really sad that he's not here with me, but I would also say that I see him every day.
That's okay.
I was actually just thinking about this. His birthday is actually coming up in a few weeks, and I was thinking about, you know, what I would say to him on his birthday, and I would just, you know, tell him again that I really miss him. I'm so thankful for the 30 some odd years that we were married. He knows always exactly how many days, months and days and everything of how we were married. He was the romantic. It wasn't me. And that I would thank him for all that time that we had together, and that I am so thankful that I know that he is in heaven, and that he's part of preparing that place for when it's my turn to join him. And so I look forward to that.
So I'm glad that you found the peace. So it's okay that sometimes we don't know who's going to hear us, who's not. How we communicate from your heart, from our mind, and such. So I'm sure he will know that. He will hear it as well, and God will let him know.
Absolutely.
One way or another, hey, you know.
Absolutely.
So you did such a great impact to one of my daughters in life, you know, and thank you for making her happy, you know, and he'll be very happy. So we want to thank you, Debra, for being with us today, to sharing your heart with us. I know it's not easy, but you're ready to share with us. You're ready to share your hope, to connect one broken person who is grieving right now with another. So, and if you guys want to reach out to Debra, her information will be down below in the description. So please reach out to her if you need any more, some support, some encouragement, and you connect with her if you're going through the grief right now, and to see how she can also bring you some kind of maybe hope in your life and connect you with this message that you need to know right now. So we also want to thank you for being with us, for tuning in and listening and being such a faithful clients and customers and viewers for Ilona TV, because our goal is to make and bring the hope to your home, to your family, to bring you this dream that you have and make it go after your dreams, guys. Because dreams are real. Don't give up on your hopes. Don't give up on your dreams. There are always people around you that God sends as angels to help you along your way. Thank you so much, and I want you to go, grow, and glow.